Good morning, IP students. Today our topic is MySQL aggregate function, and in our last lecture we already discussed count as an aggregate function, and this is a revision part of MySQL. We already covered MySQL, all topics related to MySQL in our previous lecture, and in this revision part we already discussed those part of MySQL which are very important to our examination, and according to the revised syllabus now MySQL aggregate functions are much more important than other topics. So we already discussed about a count function in our previous lecture, and in this lecture we will going to discuss about sum function. So first of all, what is aggregate function? Aggregate function is a function where the values of multiple rows are grouped together to form a single summary values. That's why they are called the aggregate, because they aggregate or sum of the all values into a single one. So second one is sum. As the name suggests, it actually add the different values, and let us see its syntax first. So MySQL sum function. The MySQL sum function is used to return the total summed values of an expression, and it returns null if the result set does not have any rows. It is one of the kinds of aggregate function in the MySQL. So there are two important things. First of all, it sum all the values in an expression. Second important thing, if no set is selected, or you don't select any row, then it will give you a null value, and it will not give an error. It actually returns a null value to you, and that is the syntax. As in scheme marked with a red pen here. This is select sum. So first of all, use the keyword sum. So all aggregate functions we can use with select statement. So just write select and then name of the function, and after that the sign of parenthesis, which is the indication it is a function, and here the aggregate function, aggregate expression. We write here aggregate expression. On the behalf of that, we going to find out the sum, and then keyword from, and then the table's name. There may be more than one tables also, and after that, if required, then we just write condition with where clause. So this is the overall syntax of sum expression. Main important thing is that when you write sum function, then just write select, and then there may be more than one column. But if you want to find out the sum, then one column name must be a sum, and value passed within the parentheses is a aggregate expression. Then from tables name and where condition, if the condition is there, if any condition is there. Next is a parameter explained of MySQL function. So there is a detailed explanation of different parameters. I already explained all of these. Aggregate expression, it specifies the columns or expression that we are going to calculate the sum. Next is table name. It specifies the table from where we want to retrieve records, and there must be at least one table, remember that there may be more than one table listed in the from clause. And third is where clause. It is optional, as I told you earlier, and it specifies the condition that must be fulfilled for the records to be selected. These are the some parameters of sum function. Let us see its syntax again. Just write select first of all, and then after sum, and then in parenthesis aggregate function, after that from, and then after table or table's name. There may be more than one table, and if there is a condition related to that sum, then this condition must be specified with where clause. So that is the syntax of sum function. And sum function actually calculates the sum of the given values. Now there is a table, and the table name is employee. Here you can easily see that table name is employee, and name of the attributes are employee ID, employee name, occupation, working hours, and working date. These are the column names here, and as we can see that these are the records of a table in which there are different employees names are here: Joseph, Stephen, Mark, Peter, Joseph, and some of values are repeated in this as well. And then the occupation is business, doctor, engineer, teacher, business, doctor, teacher, engineer, business, teacher. So there is a repetition of occupation also. And then working date, as you see that, and default format 20, year first, then month, and then after date. So this is in format, and working date are 2020 410, and there is a repetition of value also in working date. And then working hours are 10, 15, 12, 9, 10, 15, 9, 12, 10, and 9. So there are repetition of values again in the working hours. So we can conclude it as a it is an this is an table name employee. First of all, table name is employee, and it actually returns the employee. It actually shows the information of a employee in an organization, such as employee ID, employee name, it's their occupation, their working date, and their working hours. And regarding to that, there are so many number of duplication of data in this table in terms of employee ID, employee name, even occupation, working date, and working hours. So if you want to create this table, first of all use create table syntax, and after that if you want to put the data into this table, then insert into commands. So these are the basic commands which already discussed in our previous lecture, and it is also a part of our revision too. So now uh, first basic example, the simplest use of sum function. Here execute the following query that calculate the total number of now question asks in such a way in our examination that there is already a table given to you, and you have to ask that calculate the total number of working hours of the employee of the table. And for this you have to write a query in MySQL. So first of all, at prompt you can write select and then sum and then working hours, because you want to calculate the total number of working hours as given in question. This is the question: total number of working hours, so total number of working hours. For to calculate total, there is a name of function called sum, so sum is used, and we want to calculate the sum of working hours. So working hours is passed as a parameter within the sum function, and after that it is not a compulsory part, but if you want to provide it it as an alternative name to this column some working hours, then just write as and then total working hours. And what happens when you write as total working hours is that the output is in the forms where column name is appears as total working hours, not some working hours. If you don't write it as total working hours, then the column name is some working hours, as it is as mentioned in this query. So it is a good practice to write as to give a alternative name to a column, and then after, or it may be asking examination that give an alternative name to the particular column, especially as is given where function is used. So whenever a function is used, we give an alternative name to it which provide better look and feel. So here as is used as a keyword, and total working hours provides an alternative name to some working hours. And then as we know that the table name is employee, so just write from employee, and this is the basic example, no condition is given regarding to that, so we just write some function and just mention the table name. So as the question, as the condition asked in the question, that execute the following query that calculate the total number of working hours of the all employees in the table. And after the execution of that statement, actually what we want to calculate here, that we want to calculate here the total number of working hours. This is the total number of working hours of all employees. So whatever is the total may be appear here. Let us see what happens. So as you can see that the first of all total number of working hours uh, as a column name. And why it is a column name here? Because we use as total working hours, and then from employees obviously a table name, and here we calculate sum of working hours. So whatever is the working hours, so there may be a sum of it, and we can calculate it using a sum function. So here we use sum function, and you can easily see that total number of working hours 111. So this is the sum of total number of working hours. So this is the simplest example, or we can say that basic example of sum function. So whenever you want to calculate a total number or addition of a particular detail of a particular column, then you can use sum function. Next, our second example, where clause. If what happens if there are condition given with um, some function or some aggregate functions, then it is very simple, and all of you are aware of the where clause. And if there is a condition specified with a row, then you can use this condition, you can write this condition with where clause, and rest part is same as that of the previous. And you can see here this is the same as the previous one. And in this part we have to calculate the total working hours, but there is a condition added, and condition is working hour must be greater than equal to 12. So that is the condition. So always remember that condition is always attached with the where clause. So rest thing is same as the previous one. So all the parameters are same, all the conditions are same, formula is same, and we have already given a alternative name in this as a total working hours, which is same as that of the previous one, and a table name is employee. But the only difference is the condition, and the condition is working hours must be greater than equal to 10. So let us see the original table first. Here we can see that working hours less than greater, so we have to calculate the sum of only those working hours which are greater than equal to 12. So I think first one is rejected because it is a 10, and 10 is less than 12. Then second, then third, of course fourth is not, fifth is also not considered, then 15 is considered, 9 is not considered, 12 is considered, 10 and 9 is not considered. So here you can easily see that we have to make a sum of 15, 12, and then 15 and 10. 15 and 12. 10 is not considered at all. And the sum is 54. Let us check it. 15, 15, 30, 12 and 12, 24, 30 plus 24, 54. And rest all values are less than 12, so are not considered. These are not considered at all. So total number will be 24 according to that condition. So here select some working hours as total working hours, and from employee where working is greater than equal to 12. So this is the condition, and where clause is used to define the condition here. Rest things are same as that of previous one, so only a little bit change as compared to the previous one, and that is your answer. And that is the query type on your in MySQL, and it gives you result in 0.00 second, very fast. Okay. Next is MySQL sum function with group by clause. Now it is very important because in your syllabus group by clause is especially mentioned, and since it is mentioned separately, then it is definite then question will be asked from group by clause. And it may be possible that uh, different or particular particular aggregate function may be used with group by clause. So group by clause, as we know that most of the cases aggregate functions are used. So you have a good practice on a group by clause with different aggregate functions. In our previous lecture we already discuss a group by clause with the count function, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about sum function with group by clause. So as you know that the group by function basically a group the records of the similar type, and here concept is very simple. We use the keyword group by to group all the records of same type, and rest all things are same as that of the previous one. So here let us see what is the query in this case. Statement: calculate the total working hour for each employee. Remember that total working hour of each employee by using the sum function with the group by clause as shown in the following query. So group by we have to make a group on the basis of occupation. Let us see the original data first. Occupation are business, doctor, engineer, teacher. These are 4 occupations. So we have to make a group according to these 4 occupation, and calculate according to that total number of working hours. Total number of working hours for business, total number of working hours for doctor, total number of business hours for engineer, and total number of working hours for teacher. According to that, let us check it. Okay, yes, listen. Select employee ID, employee name. These are the columns. If you want to select all these columns, just put star sign here, and here we have to calculate the sum. So just write sum working hours as a column name, and with some working hours, 3 different columns names are also a part of your answer. That is employee ID, employee name, and occupation, and some working hours. And then just write as a total working hours. So it will become the alternative name of, it will give him a secondary name of working hours. So answer will be appears as in total working hours in place of some working hours, and then from employee, and then group by occupation. So group by occupation, let us see its output again. I think now it is clear to all of you. Employee is the name of the table, and here we make a group on the basis of occupation. Let us check it. This is the answer. This is the answer. There are business, doctor, engineer, and teacher, and on the behalf of that total number of working hours will be calculated here. You can see it. If you don't write these columns names, then it will also not affect of your output, because here we want to make a group on the basis of just occupation, and according to that occupation we have to calculate sum of working hours. So these fields are not very much required, employee ID and employee name, because if you put these fields then there is some information missing also regarding to that. So just write, for this purpose you have to write just select and then occupation and some working hours as total working hours from employee, and then group by occupation. So always try to put a column name on the basis of which group is formed, and then the formula or the aggregate function which calculate as per the question's requirement, whatever it may be, the sum or count or min or max or average. So these 2 fields are required. So if you select other fields with this, then there may be information lost regarding to that field, as you can see here, because here you can see that employee ID is 1 and employee name is Joseph. So let us see that business main query, employee ID is 1 Joseph, and for business, and you can see that okay, one business Joseph is also there, and anything our business, okay, one Joseph of business is also there. So Joseph is for Joseph, one Joseph is same for the business occupation, but it may be differ, then there may be a certain problem or information missing, but in this case there is no such type of missing information. So let us see again, that is output. Now I think it is clear to all of you. So here one thing is very important, just write the name of the column on the basis of you make a group, and then the function, and then the name of the function which you want to perform here. So these are the two important fields. Next is some function with having clause. Now this is similar to that of the previous one. The only difference is that when we have a condition on our group, remember that condition on group, not a normal condition. Here if we want to put a normal condition, then we can use where clause, but if there is a condition on group, then we only use having clause. So having is used only with group by clause, first thing. Second thing, if there is a condition on a group, then we always mention this condition with having clause. So there are two important things here. Now you can easily see here, the condition is we want to make a group only when working hours greater than equal to 24. So sum of working hours greater than equal to 24, that is the condition. Sum working hours greater than 24. So always remember that if there is a condition. Now another important thing is, if you want to select a record and there is a general condition, then this condition is mentioned after just from here, and then group by, of course, and then the condition regarding to group by is always mentioned after the group by clause. And if we want to select, if we want to make a data according to ascending order and descending order, then put order by clause after the having clause. So these are the three important things, and these are already discussed in our previous lecture, so always remember that. So here you can see that this is the condition related to the having clause, and I told you that if you want to if there is a general condition, then just put it after the from employees, and if the condition related to a group by clause, then it must be given just after that of the group by clause. And if you want to select the data according to the ascending or descending order, then just put order by clause just after order by clause just after the having clause. So this is the highest level of, or the most difficult level of the question, when there is a general condition, when there is we want to make a group here, and there is a condition related to the group, and we have to put the data according to ascending and descending order. All these are part of a single question. Then just first of all focus the aggregate function, then the condition on behalf of that group will be formed, and after that the condition related to that group, and it must be mentioned with the having clause. And if there is a general condition, then it always given after just from table name. And then at last, if you want to put data in ascending and descending order, just write order by clause at last. So the having clause is used to filter the group with the sum function in MySQL, and this is the simplest example. This is the example of group by with having clause with aggregate function sum. You can see that select is a name of keyword, by which we can select different columns here. Employee ID, employee name are the name of the columns here. Occupation is again a column name. Now here some working hours, and some working hours the name of the some is a function, and working hours is the name of the column here. And as and total working hours is the alternative name provided by us in place of some working hours, and you can put it as and within double quotes, and without as you can also put it after the space and just double quotes here, then it will also work as a column name. Then from employee, and then group by occupation. From employee means table name is employee, and then group by occupation, we make a group on the basis of column name occupation here. And then there is a condition having some working hours greater than equal to 24. So it will take only the data whose working hours is greater than 24 in a group. So just in previous cases, 30, 30 and 27, these are the three records which we found here. And in this case yes, okay, these are the data 30, 30, 24 and 27. These are the four records which we found here. But after putting the having some working hours greater than 24, this row number 3 will not be a part of your answer. So let us check its answer. This is the answer. You can see here only 3 rows are selected, and this is the query. You can see easily on the screen. Now I think concept is very much clear to all of you, how to use having clause with group by clause with aggregate function. Our last topic is distinct clause, and the MySQL use distinct keyword to remove the duplicate rows. And if you want to remove the duplicate rows, we use distinct clause here. And this clause can also be used by some function to return the total summed value of unique number of records present in the table. We can easily see that there is a duplication of data, but if we want to unique number of records, then we can use distinct keyword. So where we have to write distinct clause within some function here, and before column name within parenthesis. Rest thing is same as that I mentioned in previous question. And group by occupation condition is also given, I think. Okay, let us see. Condition is given or may not be given. It depends on the question. So if given, just write it after the group by clause. If not given, question is over here. So distinct clause basically remove duplicate rows. Rest all things are same as that mentioned in previous question. Now let us see the output again. So you can see here, so duplicate rows are removed here, and it actually sum the records here, and the sum is little bit different as that of previous one. In previous example, sum is 30 because Joseph, I think, appeared 3 times. Let us see original database. Joseph appear here 3 times. Joseph, and then Joseph business, and then Joseph business, 3 times. So it removed duplicate rows, and see, and put answer only a single time here on the screen, as you can see here. So this is the use of distinct clause. Now I hope the concept of some aggregate function is now clear to all of you. So apply this on your computer system using MySQL, and first of all make a table, insert the data into that table, make some duplicate records, and then apply all these aspects of some aggregate function using with group by clause, using with the having clause, and using with the distinct clause, etc. So thanks for watching this video.